Hey, welcome to Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen. So nice to be hanging out with you on this Monday. And you know, what do they always say? Death and taxes are for sure, right? And we're going to touch on that in just a minute with divorce attorney Jeffrey Abood. And Jeffrey, thank you so much for being here. And you know, it's very funny to me because I don't know if you want me to disclose this or not, but you don't really love talking about divorce very much. I mean, you're a divorce attorney and an excellent one, but there's a lot that goes into it, right? I mean, people fighting all the time.
There is. I'd probably rather talk about divorce and taxes, though. And death. Yeah.
Right, because those are on the top three, man. Let's do it. Okay, so if somebody is getting divorced, like in the process during tax season, what is the number one thing they need to know?
Well, make sure you talk to an accountant. And sometimes when you're getting divorced and it's still early in the process, you're used to whoever the accountant is that you and your spouse use and your family use. And that might be okay to contact that accountant. Okay. Or a lot of times people want a fresh start. They wanted to go talk to a new accountant and make sure things were done right in the past. And the things were done right, and moving forward into the future and planning, they kind of want their own accountant now. Same with financial advisors. Sometimes people stick with their own. Sometimes, more likely than not, people switch and end up getting a separate one.
You don't have to stay with the same person during the divorce?
You don't have to. You can go get somebody new at any time. However, for purposes of actually filing taxes, if it's while the divorce is pending, that might be part of the status quo issue. There might be a court order that says you guys need to file together. And sometimes it's filing married and separate. Sometimes it's married filing married together, not separate. But also, here's the thing: you can't file as an individual not married until the divorce is final. So as long as you're still married for that tax year, you have to do it together. And again, I'm not a tax expert, and I always tell my clients, go talk to financial experts, talk to accountants, talk to CPAs, because I can't really talk to them or give them, any specific advice about that.
Right.
But broadly and generally, yes, you should talk to somebody, whether you are, and sometimes, listen, you might be court ordered to file with the accountant you were using before, but you should probably still go and consult with whichever accountant you think you're going to use moving forward and make sure things were done right. There's all kinds of issues, and there's stuff that like the innocent spouse rule in case your spouse had you, a lot of times the spouse would sign for you on the tax returns, or—
Is that legal?
No, or they would tell you just sign here and they wouldn't read it. And there's all kinds of things that go into that. But that's why it's important to find somebody that you trust and hire them to look it over, whether or not you're actually using them that year or you're going to use them in the future. But have them look at it and find out if you're doing things the right way or not.
Okay, so kind of like double checking.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Sure.
Okay, all right, so who claims the kids?
Well, that depends. And a lot of times what happens is people alternate the kids. So say somebody has 2 kids. Each party would take one until the youngest you can't claim anymore because they reached the age of majority or out of the house or whatever it may be. Then the other one will alternate years when there's one remaining. If there's one total, you alternate years. But it also depends on income levels. For example, somebody might make too much income to where it doesn't make a difference and they're not going to get any benefit by it. Or somebody may make so little income that it doesn't make a difference. So it just depends, and a lot of times that's negotiated. And if it's not negotiated, then the judge could dictate who gets it.
I was just going to say, I hear people fight all the time, right? About, well, I'm going to claim them. I'm going to claim them.
And here's a reality. Again, I'm not a tax expert or financial expert by any means, but sometimes it really doesn't even make that big a difference. People are spending more money than what the deduction is going to save them fighting over it. But as a kind of default rule, you alternate.
Okay.
And it's simple as that.
Okay, so you alternate the kids. Okay, who claims the house?
Well, it depends. Well, no, here's the thing. After you're divorced, you're not living in the same house anymore,
You
right?
hope not, right?
Well, and you may be, and there might be something that dictates how that's going to be done. But typically, typically here's what happens, because if you're still married, and even if you're filing separately, it might look at who's the one that's primarily paying for the house, or that might be a tax strategy with your accountant.
Right, okay.
But typically, when it comes time to filing on your own as a single person, hopefully you no longer have the house, or at least the house isn't your primary residence anymore.
Okay, and then alimony, taxable or not?
Well, so here's the thing. child support is after tax dollars and has always been, as far as I know. So that means the person paying it is not able to deduct it, and the person receiving it doesn't have to claim it.
Okay.
Alimony, which we call spousal support in Michigan, is now the same as child support, and that probably changed about 6 years ago or so, and the rule changed on that to where when you're before, what happened was the person paying the alimony, so spousal support, was able to deduct it, and then the person receiving it had to claim it as an income.
Really?
Now it's after tax dollars.
Okay.
So, but again, people are like, oh, well, am I really paying more? Or am I receiving less or more or whatever it may be? And I think what's happened is the formulas have kind of self-adjusted to take that into consideration, the new tax laws on that, and the tax rules on that.
So it seems like there is always, and you mentioned this at the beginning, I mean, there is filing status confusion when you're going through divorce, right? I mean, but you said you...
There is, but legally you're still married, so you have to file married.
Okay.
And then the question is it separate or joint? And that's an accountant question sometimes, and sometimes that's a judge question. But typically, it's something that the parties would hopefully come to an agreement to through the help of their accountants and financial experts.
Okay, so what is one tax rule when it comes to divorce that makes people go, what? Like the most, like that they're always surprised by, that you see?
I don't know that there's a specific tax rule.
Okay.
I think that, I mean, the laws changed a while ago now to where most people know, especially if they've been through it, know that spousal support is no longer deductible and you no longer have to claim it as income. It's after tax dollars. I think most people know that.
Okay.
I think something, you know, and everybody makes a big deal about whether or not to claim their children and who gets the deductions and whatever. And I think if they actually look at the numbers, it may not really make that big a difference. I think that's another one.
Okay.
And I think, you know, just overall, here's the thing. It's important to communicate with them. Your lawyer's not an accountant. Your lawyer's not supposed to give you tax advice typically unless they have some extra credentials that allow them to be able to do that or extra licenses. So I would make sure to consult with a CPA, a tax expert in every step of the way. And your lawyer should be telling you to do that as well.
Okay. One piece of advice for a couple is thinking about divorce?
Well, I mean, a lot of times people call me and say, hey, what should I do ahead of time? Or what can I change? Or what can I restructure? And typically my answer is don't change anything. Right. Because you don't want to mess with the financial status quo. You don't want to start trying to dissipate assets or be accused of that or anything like that, because it can come back to really bite you hard in the butt. Okay. The best thing is be transparent, be honest, and make sure that you hire a lawyer that's experienced and that you trust and that you can communicate with, and have the lawyer advise you on what steps to take and what to do.
Is it possible to take emotion out of divorce? Have you ever seen it happen?
To take emotion out of it?
Yeah.
The only time I've really seen it happen is when people have been separated for a really long time. Typically, these are people that have been married for a long time, their kids are grown, and
like
they've been living
out.
separate for a while.
Right.
Those have been probably the most emotionless divorces.
Okay.
Other than that, there's always emotion in divorce, no matter what.
Okay. Well, thank you.
And then for I would say I kind of wish I was a wedding planner instead of a divorce lawyer, because at least people are happy when they get married.
Right, exactly.
And nobody's ever happy when they're getting divorced. And listen, are they happy after the fact? Yeah, a lot of times they are, and they feel relieved.
Right.
But
Right.
as we say, a lot of times, unfortunately, it gets worse before it gets better. It's not magically going to get better the minute you file for divorce.
Or the minute it's final,
Or the minute it's final.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
And everybody feels like they got the short end of the stick at the time. And I think the biggest reason for that is the noise they hear from other people. No two cases are the same. No two people's situation are the same. And what happens is they're talking to their friends or talking to other people.
Everyone is
listening to
saying
what somebody else
something,
saying.
right?
Everybody's saying something different. And it's not a one size fits all.
Okay.
Everybody's divorce situation is totally different. And nobody really knows what your true income is and what your true debt is like, what your true tax bracket is like, all of this stuff.
Right.
It's
all speculation.
And what your expenses are.
Right.
And how big a note are you carrying? How many residences do you have? How many vehicles do you have? What are your kids in private school? Are they not? All of that goes into effect. So you can't say, oh, so-and-so's getting X number of dollars a month, why aren't I? Or so-and-so got this, why am I not? So it's always completely different.
Okay. So people need to remember that.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so easy to say, and working on the outside, we're not here to judge anybody because when we all go through our situations ourselves, it's much, much different than sitting and advising somebody or being able to just judge from the outside. And you need somebody that truly understands that your situation is unique and that can advise you on that, and somebody that can communicate with you. And and listen, most of the time, it's not a good idea probably all the time, it's not a good idea to tell your clients things that they want to hear. And I tell my clients all the time, and sometimes they're disappointed by the advice or the news I give them, but I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff, and I'm not going to tell them things they want to hear. I'm going to tell them what I think is likely going to happen, or what would happen likely if they made such and such decision, because they need to know that. And not everything is peachy or rosy or whatever it may be and all
Right.
happy. But the goal is to get you to a point to where you're going to be happy. So
You taking new clients?
we are.
Not if people reach out to you.
Absolutely, yes, we are. And I'm happy to talk to anybody. I know you said in the beginning I don't like talking about divorce.
But of course you do, because
No,
you're a
of course I
divorce
do,
attorney.
and I'm happy to talk to anybody at any time,
Okay.
whatever situation it may be.
Okay, your
And
office is in Birmingham?
Yes, offices throughout the state of Michigan and actually throughout the country as well, but I primarily work and run our office. It's in Birmingham.
Okay. Are you going to become a wedding planner?
I don't know, maybe someday if I could afford to retire from this business, but
Nice. Very nice. Okay, I just have one more question
Sure.
for you. Can I have your piston tickets? No.
You know what? Typically, I would say yes. I always have some available, but this season,
Nope, not a
probably
chance.
from, I don't know, into the first month, second month of the season, they've all been spoken for.
All right, I'll try again next year.
All right.
Thanks for nothing, man.
Yeah. Call me early next year.
I will.
All right.
I will. Thanks,
Sounds
Jeffrey.
good. Thank you. Yeah.
That pains me about those piston tickets, but whatever. Speaking of pain, how about chronic pain? That is no fun to live with. And Dr. Saul Kogan is the founder of the Nerve and Disc Institute. He has been practicing for over 32 years and has treated 10,000 patients. And if his name sounds familiar, it's because he's actually been the Detroit Tigers doctor, also the Detroit Lions. But you know what? His whole approach is holistic, right? So if you have a bulging disc or a herniated disc, he wants to treat you non-surgical and no medication. And that really impacts your life because that means there's no downtime. And I was lucky enough to have a chance to talk to the doctor himself. Let's watch.
Many years ago, when I was in high school, I had a really, really, really bad injury and no one could help me. And I found someone that looked outside of the box and helped me. And from that day on, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Until you've experienced pain, you can't relate. And I know it sounds trite, but it's really not. I mean, it's funny, and pain is something that you physically can't remember the actual pain. That's your body's mechanism to protect you. And it's a blessing and a curse. So when I was in high school, I had a really, really bad injury, and I got better. But I had a kind of a chronic problem for many, many years. I was able to run 6 marathons, but I had a bulging disc and pain down my leg. And finally, I found someone that looked outside the box and did some different types of therapies and got better. And it was life-changing to me. And, you know, it was kind of a group approach like we do with professional athletes. And I decided that day I was going to provide that same type of treatment that professional athletes get because it's the right thing to do. And, you know, it's funny, and I did it, and I cared about my patients, and always did the most I could to help them get out of pain. But over time, you kind of get a little more numb to it. And last August, so a year ago, I was in South America skiing, and we were jumping 20-foot cliffs, and I blew out my back. And thank God it was the end of the trip. I literally came home in a wheelchair, couldn't walk, had horrible pain down my leg. And, you know, while I was in Chile the last few days, when I was sitting at meals, I'd have ice bags on my back, and it was a very small place, and everyone knew each other, and they're like, "Doc, what's wrong with you?" And I told them, and they're like, "Why are you smiling?" I was like, "Because it's going to make me so much better at what I do." You know, it really inspired me because I forgot how debilitating it is when you have a problem like that and it affects every aspect of your life. And all I could think about was, when I get better, how much better I'm going to do helping my patients, because I felt their pain. I know their pain, and I want to do everything for them that I did for myself to get better. Intradisc neutrosis is unlike most therapies. Most therapies, really, if you have a problem, you have three options. One is live with it. Two is manage it. And there's a ton of ways to manage it, and that means manage the pain, because that's what our society has done in healthcare for the past several decades. You know, you take anti-inflammatories, painkillers, physical therapy, chiropractic, acupuncture, massage, epidurals, high-dose lasers, decompression. Any and all these things can help people feel better for a short time or a little bit longer, which is great. But they don't repair the underlying cause if it's a disc problem. So if someone has a herniated disc, a bulging disc, degenerative disc disease, or spinal stenosis, they usually think they have one problem, their pain. They really have two problems. One, the pain, and two, the bad disc that's causing it. Intradisc neutrosis is the only therapy that was specifically designed to treat both problems, not just the pain, but the anatomy and physiology of the disc from a functional level, to repair that and allow people to heal naturally without drugs or surgery. You know, it's not just me saying that. I believe that, you know, you have to measure, right? So 2015, we had an independent third-party researcher come out. They did a clinical study on our patients that was followed up, another study 3 years later, and it was published in a peer-reviewed medical journal. So it's not just me saying this. If something is published in a peer-reviewed journal, that means other people approve the validity and the science of what it was. And our intradisc neutrosis showed better than a 90% success rate, and was still over 90% 3 years later. I have the best job in the world. It's absolutely incredible. And you know, listen, I always loved what I do. But once I got into really focusing on severe and chronic problems that are altering people's lives, and come up with a solution, not just to temporarily help them feel better, but to fix it and see what happens to their lives, and see these people many years later, like the gentleman you were just talking to. You know, I see him working every day when I'm down at the Tigers. It's unbelievable. So it's not just people saying, hey, I feel great and thank you. It's watching their lives change. And what makes it so special is, you know, I'm humbled because I was reminded what it's like to be controlled by your pain, and it's no way to live. Any good surgeon will tell you, do anything you can to avoid back surgery. That's the reality. Back surgery, although sometimes is necessary, does not always have a great results and doesn't have a terrific success rate. So you should do anything. I mean, at the end of the day, if you've been told you need surgery, the doctor that told you that may not be right. And even if they were right a year ago or 5 years ago, they may not be right today because of how fast technology changes. And I want people to understand that there may be help. I mean, I'd like to say I can help everyone. And the reality is, out of every 10 people we see, I accept maybe 3 or 4. So 1 or 2 out of 10 are just have a contraindication, can't do the treatment. 4 or 5 out of 10 who are technically candidates, I don't find to be good enough candidates to get the results that I would want to get, or that I think that they want to get. So I don't take them. So I really only take people that I really believe that we can help, not just feel better, but get better for a lifetime. And we see people every day that felt they had to live with the pain forever or had surgery, and there's nothing better than proving that wrong. You know, it's interesting how I got there, you know? I mean, everything happens for a reason, you know? And I was so motivated when I became a doctor because of what happened to me when I was younger, that it was more than motivation. It was more like inspiration. I built a really large practice, seeing over 500 people a week. And as a result of seeing so many people, you see professional athletes. I saw a professional athlete. I saw a gold medalist as a patient. And within about a 6-month period of time, I started seeing some players on every Detroit team. And in 2000, the Detroit Lions asked me to be one of their team doctors, where I covered every single game with the exception of 3, both home and away, over 14 years. And what I will tell you is the healthcare that professional athletes get is better than the healthcare that professional athletes get is better than the healthcare that regular people get. And it's really, there's 2 parts to it. One is that there's a group approach. So there's no fear of competition or who gets to do what. It's everyone working together as a team to find the cause of the problem. And with professional athletes, it's different than it was in the day where they would come out and they'd get a shot and go back in, or get their bell rung and they'd go back in. Everything that is done to help a professional athlete is not done to cover up the pain. It's to repair the underlying cause. And this is crucial, because without repairing the underlying problem, it comes back and often leads to more problems in the future. So with professional athletes, that's number one. It's a group approach, and then they use the newest and the highest technology in a way that's unique and different. And one day I had an epiphany that that's what I wanted to bring to my regular patients, simply because it's the right thing to do. For many years, our real focus was almost exclusively disc problems, people that had back pain or neck pain or sciatica as a result of herniated discs, bulging discs, degenerative disc disease, and spinal stenosis. And we had great success with that. And what happened, and kind of the evolution of the Disc Institute becoming the Nerve and Disc Institute, was I saw more and more people that came in that thought they had sciatica because they had numbness or tingling or pain in their feet or going down both legs. And it wasn't sciatica, it was peripheral neuropathy, which is peripheral neuropathy is defined as disease or dysfunction of one or more nerves, often causing pain or burning or tingling or numbness, most commonly in the extremities, the arms, legs, hands, or feet. And what we found was some of these people had neuropathy and not a disc problem. We found that other people had disc problems and not neuropathy. And then we found what's the most commonly missed is when someone has both. So we spent years working on solutions and looking at technology was out there to help people with peripheral neuropathy. And our success rate is just about as good as it is with the discs. And the idea is in the philosophy. Instead of just treating the symptoms, like traditionally if someone had neuropathy, they only had 2 options. One is live with it, or 2 is manage it. And the way they managed it was to take anti-inflammatories, painkillers, nerve drugs like gabapentin, Lyrica, or Neurontin. Now they're using immunosuppressants and antidepressants. The problem with all this, it's not designed to repair the nerve, it's designed to manage the symptoms. So when the medicine wears off, the problem's still there and usually still degenerating with time. We looked at what Cancer Treatment Centers of America did in 2001. They did a study with 124 people that had neuropathy as a result of chemotherapy, because any kind of poison or diabetes or these things can damage nerves. And they used a device called the Rebuilder, and they had a 96% success rate. Now, it's not as good as it sounds, because their definition of success was any improvement. So it didn't matter if you were 5% better or 85. If you were a success, you went in the success group. So 96% of the people got some relief. That wasn't good enough for me. I mean, in their idea, they weren't trying to deceive people, but they wanted to decide if they were going to use it in all their clinics, and they were so pleased with the results that they did. When I decided to do neuropathy treatment in my office, we looked at that, we used that device, but we created a protocol that uses multiple therapies, and we approach it from an electrical level, because nerves work on electrical. A regenerative level, because nerves have tissue that needs to heal. We looked at it from a metabolic level, where we use diet or supplementation, and a rehabilitative aspect to get blood flowing. So we've combined all this stuff to help the nerves to work. And some of our patients come in and got a little relief with one treatment, whether it was a surgery or an epidural. but they didn't get full relief, and it's because they didn't know they had neuropathy also. So we make sure that we look at every patient every time and look if they have a problem with a nerve problem. We look at where the nerve originates and where it goes. So we determine exactly what's necessary, and quite often, it's not quite often, but it's not uncommon for someone that didn't have resolved issues to have a combination of those two things, a disc problem and the neuropathy. Knees are really interesting. So, it's that kind of came by demand. And it's really interesting because I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. And in the same day, I had 3 different patients that said, "Doc, my back is feeling so good. I wish you could fix my knee." And I said, "Well, let me see your x-ray," to look at it. And they all had the same problem. They were all getting close to bone on bone. And they didn't want knee replacements. And I thought about the knee joint, and I thought about the spinal complex and what we do. And I decided there's got to be a solution. And we looked at different technologies, and we did the same thing that we did with peripheral neuropathy and in the beginning, disc treatment. And we came at it from a multi-level approach of addressing the underlying cause. And what we've seen is people get better with knee problems and measurable results on pre and post x-rays of dozens of people that have been told they needed, probably hundreds at this point, but many people that have been told they need knee surgery or knee replacement, and they're doing great years after treatment. We treat people of all ages. I mean, what we don't treat are people that have simple problems, like if they have a muscular strain or a joint problem, a chiropractor or physical therapy. Those things are great for that stuff. We treat people with chronic and or serious disc problems. And those problems can be in the neck or in the back. And many of them have radiating pain into their extremities. But we don't see so many people that have simple injuries because there's a lot of easier things to do, rest, ice, therapies, and stuff like that. So we see people that have real problems. But the age ranges from probably 17, 18-year-old young athletes to professional athletes to senior citizens. I've got a new patient that just started that's 99 years old. Listen, I've had debilitating pain. I mean, I felt that pain. I know that pain. And I know how consuming it can be. It can affect every aspect in your life. I mean, at the end of the day, you can have 1,000 problems, but when you lose your health, you only worry about one. And I'm just here to tell you that there's hope. There's hope not just to feel better temporarily, but to get your life back. And it's my mission to help as many people as possible to do just that.
And the Nerve and Disc Institute, they have 3 locations, one in Farmington, the other in Clinton Township, and another in Grand Blanc. So check them out, nervediscinstitute.com. You can set up a consultation. And the bonus plan is if you mention Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen, you'll actually get 50% off your treatment plan. So I am lucky enough to be hanging out with one of my good friends, Susie Marsh, who is a fantastic entertainer and singer, of course. And so the funny thing is that you came to my 100th show, and that was the first time we had actually met in person.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah,
And
that's
it was so amazing when you walked in. I recognized you immediately, and it was just so touching that you came and you brought your tribe with you.
Oh my gosh. And I was the one that started the Liquid Sunshine about
Yes,
you.
I love that.
You are
Thank
Liquid
you.
Sunshine. And when we watch your Caffeinated Conversations with Brooke Allen, it's like you get a lift and we get coffee and love.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. So I returned the favor when I went to Andiamo's, me and Sandra. We went and checked you out there in West Bloomfield, and girl, you are a rock star. It is seriously amazing. So how long have you been singing?
I've been singing since I was about 3.
Okay.
Performing, tap dancing, all of that.
Right.
Professionally, probably since I was about 13 or 14. So this is all I really knew until back. I mean, I always taught fitness to a certain degree, but then I started getting certified in 2011, 2012. So combining both, which they're both entertainment.
For sure.
Singing,
Both
playing,
moving, both breathing, both,
moving and
getting
grooving.
it done.
and then also playing keys. And
Right.
so putting it all together and having the confidence to do it. I had a keyboard player with whom I worked for almost 30 years. And
Did you say 30?
oh, yeah, almost 30 years, and he was very ill. He did pass, and gratefully he's at peace now. So while he was ill, I had to find ways to perform by myself, or because I, bless his heart, sometimes he was in the hospital, so I would either have to hire other musicians, or I taught myself how to play.
Wow.
So that I could do that and not have to worry.
You're like self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient. Yep. A one-woman show kind of thing.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So what is your favorite song?
Oh, geez, Louise, that's not fair. One of them is called "The Very Thought of You." Do you know it?
I don't, but it sounds sweet.
It's a really pretty.
I'm all about
song.
titles.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
It says
Yeah,
it all.
It's what grabs you.
Yeah, the very thought of you.
Love it.
The little things you do. It's all about someone who is so special to your heart and so inspires you and gives you love. That the very thought of you makes my heart happy.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So that's one of your favorites.
That's one of my favorites.
Okay. And you have actually performed with some big names. I mean,
I
you
have.
are not chopped liver, girl.
I've been really blessed to play. Before they passed, I worked with Harry Belafonte, Ray Charles. I did Michael Bolton. I didn't do Michael Bolton. I performed with him a couple of times. Michael McDonald.
Oh, wow.
Do you know my Michael McDonald story? Do you know it?
No, tell me.
Okay, so I do an impersonation of him. And so back in the day, girls used to get hired to be the backup singers in different towns.
Okay.
So when they would tour, they would hire extra singers or extra musicians to fill out the band. So I was one of the lucky girls to be on the list. And I was one of his background singers, and I played a little keys at the time. So when we had finished our rehearsal with the 13-piece band, which sounded amazing, and I had done all my rehearsing with the cassette that they sent in the mail.
Cassette.
Right, because they didn't have to, download it.
Right.
So I was prepared. I knew my stuff. I was very confident in what I was doing. I sat down at the piano and started diddling a little bit, and the band jumped in with me, and we started playing.
Oh, how cool is that?
So he had left and gone to he was in his dressing room. And so I said, I do an impersonation of Michael McDonald. They go, well, do it. Of course. And then we started with that, and then we did taking it to the streets, and they were knocking themselves out. We were all knocking ourselves out. The band's having a blast.
Right.
And all of a sudden, the vibe changes.
I can only imagine.
He's behind me.
Of course.
Because he came out of this, and I turned, and I'm like, oh, crap. And he goes, keep going.
Oh.
And I said, okay. He goes, you're singing lead on that tonight.
Really?
And I said, no, I'm a background singer. He goes, if you don't sing lead, I'm firing you. I'm like, I guess I'm singing lead.
Wow.
So that was an experience.
How cool is that?
Right. I was like 20, 21.
Right.
And so I got to sing Michael McDonald with Michael McDonald.
Crazy.
What was Pine Knob? And it's,
Right?
It's back to Pine
You
Knob
know,
now.
it's back, right?
Yay.
It's like so crazy. It's like, what is this called? What are we doing? Right? What are
Right.
we doing now?
Yes.
Okay, so you sing, you entertain,
Yes.
you're a coach.
Yep.
You do so many things.
Yes.
So my question to you is, what do you say to any woman out there who thinks she's not good enough, too old, or just can't do it?
So can't is a 4-letter word.
Okay.
And we don't swear. Well,
Okay.
okay. So when you say can't, that tells your brain and your soul exactly that. So when you say, I will strive instead of try, the more that you change the verbiage, the more you change the thinkage. The more you change the thinkage, the more you change the verbiage. So all of that changes your entire being. I truly believe just one time saying that will change how you perceive what you're thinking, how you perceive yourself. The more that you use positive words, positive reinforcement, the more positive you will become. And people will want to be around you more.
Right. It heightens your energy, right?
It heightens your energy.
Because it's all about the energy you put out.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes. And misery does love company.
It does. It's so amazing.
And we don't do misery, do we?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore,
Not
right?
anymore.
Key, not
Yep.
anymore.
Yep. And I'll tell you, one of the things I think most women, as I've matured, I realize a lot of women keep girlfriends because we were girlfriends in kindergarten. Well, some of the girlfriends may not be effective in your life now.
You may have outgrown them.
About the grown women, right. I mean, the problem is that women, when they become girlfriends, that's my girlfriend. When you're with a man, that's your relationship. If it's a toxic man, you get rid of him. But if it's a toxic girlfriend, you may keep her because she's my girlfriend.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I've never thought about that before.
So I tell women when I'm coaching them, I'm a confidence coach, if you have women that are dragging you down, when you hang up with them, you're going,
You feel bad, right?
you feel
Yeah, like,
exhausted.
yeah,
No,
I get it.
they are most probably toxic, and they most probably have chosen not to elevate themselves yet. Your job's not to elevate them. Your job is to let them have some time to themselves to view their own behavior so that they're not grabbing onto others. And when you do that, I call it divorcing a girlfriend. When you divorce the girlfriend, they may have time to reconsider, what did I do?
Do you tell them you're divorcing them?
Depends on the people.
Okay.
So I have had to say, I think we're not a good fit. I think you should find your own tribe. I've had to be really.
Don't ever say that to me. That would make me sad.
Oh my God, I love you too much. No, we're a tribe, buddy. We're sisters. But the people because you're not toxic, you're elevating. The one girl, I just had to say, we're not a good fit. And if you want to get a good fit, you may need some help with a professional therapist. I'm not a therapist. I'm a confidence coach. You go ahead and do you. When you come back from having done that, if we can fit, we will. Most times they don't.
They don't come back, right?
Because they haven't done the work yet, and chances are
They're
not.
trying to fake it, man.
Well, they're not going to make it.
Okay.
When I say fake it till you make it, that's a whole other.
Yeah, that's a whole thing,
That's a
right?
whole other set of parameters. It just is. My thing is this: the more that you can put positivity out into the world, you're going to get it back. And it's vibe. And people go, "Oh, you have so much energy." Yes, I do. And part of it is medicated ADHD.
Right? And
a little bit of
caffeine, a
coffee,
little bit of
a little
caffeine, a little bit of caffeine,
caffeinated.
maybe a lot of caffeine.
A lot of caffeine, but also getting energy and joy from others.
Right.
Helping.
Being open to it.
Yes.
Because I do think that there's people in the world who are just like,
no, I don't
they
want
don't,
this.
I don't need this, I don't want, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But if you're not open, you're not gonna
gonna
gather it.
experience it.
Right.
And
You're gonna
no.
miss it.
Does she not have the most beautiful eyes?
Oh,
Oh my
I can see
God,
it.
isn't it? It's just so pretty. Okay, I'm looking at you going, oh my God, they're so pretty. Okay, so go ahead.
Well, just thanks for that compliment, man.
You're welcome. Well,
Okay, you know what? Actually, let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, and this is going to be a weird segue, but yesterday I was shopping and a woman walked by me and she said, "You are so beautiful."
Isn't that nice?
And I was like, "Thank you." And so, and you just did it.
Yep.
And here's the thing: it's not about my ego.
No.
It's about women uplifting women.
Yes.
Right. And that is key.
That is
Right.
This is my surmisal. I could be wrong. I believe that women who are confident enough in themselves, who put themselves out and say, "You're beautiful," that takes a lot of confidence to say that to another woman,
sure.
because she may shut us down.
Right.
I don't think I've ever had a lack of confidence in that regard to tell another woman how much I appreciate them. And sometimes they'll look at me and I'll say, this is in a real soulful way.
Right.
It's not, I'm not coming onto you. I've said, I appreciate, it's not just your outer beauty. I feel your soul. I feel your spirit. I love to share good spirit, good soul. Can I give you an example?
Sure.
When I was at this convention in Tampa a couple weeks ago, and this woman was sitting there and she looked like a Barbie doll. Brenda, yes, it's you. She was so stunning. And I walked over and I said, "I don't know who you are, but you are just absolutely fabulous." She goes, "Well, I thought the same about you." That in itself told me that she was open to loving on other women.
Right.
And to bringing us together as a tribe and to elevate together.
Right.
If we don't do that, we're losing out.
No, we are.
We are. We're not like enjoying life.
No, and there's so much life to enjoy, and the whole, collaboration versus competition, and I mean it goes on, right? But it is interesting because when that woman stopped me yesterday, and I was like, "Thank you so much," and it was funny too because I was going to say the same thing to her. I thought
Exactly.
she was striking.
Exactly. So what did Now, when that happened, did you say it back to her?
When she said it to me first,
Yeah.
I said to her, I said, that's so funny. I was going to tell you you were striking.
So you just connected with her. Your souls just connected. And I guarantee she went home and said, this gorgeous girl, did you give her your card? No. Okay, no. She'll find you. She'll find you. And whatever she does, it's,
Right.
it's part of the plan.
Right.
She went home and said, oh my God, this beautiful girl just gave me the nicest compliment. That means more, no offense, guys. It
means more.
It means more to have a
does.
woman appreciate you than to have a man. We love men appreciating us.
And we are talking to you.
We are talking to you too. But we feel elevated by other women. Sometimes when you get it from a man, there may be that coming onto you thing, which we don't mind. We still got it.
Right,
sort of
right.
thing.
And there's that ego check, right?
There's that
It's like,
ego
okay,
thing.
that's good.
But elevating each other, I think, is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And that's a skill.
Yeah.
It's an art, and that's one of the things I teach when I'm teaching confidence is the more that you feel well about yourself, and I have tools to teach that. You know, I'm writing a book. The more that you feel well about yourself, the more well you can help others feel about themselves.
Exactly.
And to me, that's what we're supposed to be doing in this world.
Right, right,
That's what we're
exactly.
supposed to be doing. Make this big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
the
And
tribe.
that's, and that's honestly what I try to teach the twins, right? The
do
negative
that.
thinking, it's like, nope, come on, we're not going to say that. We've got to
that.
refrain. It's hard.
I have seen you.
But it's,
seen you
I
with
mean,
your
they're
kids.
14, so it's tough.
Whoa, sheesh.
I mean, but they, they're at that awkward stage,
yeah,
right?
they
Where
are.
it's just not good.
But you know what? They are. It's evident how much you adore them and love them and respect them, and you. So you're welcome, because I want you. That again is a skill, and it's a skill set that you need to keep pushing, because you can't say it one time. Right. You got to say it 100 times.
Right. Whether it's to someone else, your kid, or yourself.
Or yourself. Exactly. Yeah. Now I'm a voice coach, and so when I'm coaching singers, I'll say I'm going to say this to you 100 times. So get used to it. I am a professional nag. If you don't open your mouth, the sound's going to stay inside of your head. When you use your instrument, open it up, it raises your soul.
Right.
It helps you sing well.
It travels.
It travels. It expands.
Yes.
It does things. It magnetizes.
It does, and we love that.
what we do.
We love that. Okay, so I know you don't have a lot of time, so I don't want to keep you, but I do need to talk about the sizzle sleeves.
The sizzle sleeves. Okay.
Sizzle
So my girlfriend, who I'm not going to say her age, but she is very well mature. I have a 9-piece band in Canada called Nemesis Rocks, and we had a show in which we had to do 5 different decades, and I had about 30 seconds to change from one decade to the other.
Okay.
So I said to her, Maria, how am I going to do costume changes like that? She's, I got you. She literally created these.
Really?
Yeah. So everyone had a different color.
Very cool.
And some had stuff on them, like when
Feathers?
sparkles, like hanger
She's
downers.
like, they were bedazzled.
Oh, they were bedazzled. Oh, they were. When I did Prince, we had like the, okay. So the coolest thing was that it was out of necessity that she's one of the most genius she designs wedding gowns without a pattern.
Nice.
Yeah, she'll put a girl up there and she'll go, okay, I know, and
Wow.
it's always like stunning. So she made them, and I wear them on my shows, on my fitness classes, and people always want them. And
Yes.
we are putting
Are
putting
you?
together, yeah,
Awesome.
We're putting together Shopify and
All right.
website and all that. There's a lot going on. It's coming.
lot.
So
There's a lot.
sizzle sleeves. Yeah. Squirrel.
Yes.
So sizzle sleeves. Yeah.
We love shiny things.
Shiny. So yeah, sizzle sleeves. You can wear them like this. You can put them over. There's a whole bunch of different versions. And when at a wedding, you may be a little. You don't want your décolleté to be showing when you're at the actual wedding, so you put it over your head and it closes. And then when you get to the reception, you can flip it over. It's like, whoop.
See?
There you
Look
go.
at that.
I know.
love that.
She's brilliant. She's brilliant.
That is so cool. And all different colors, I assume?
All different colors, all different flavors. We got everything.
That is so
Yes.
awesome.
Yep,
All right.
Yep. We'll have those ready.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
you.
Okay, so how can people figure out where you're performing? Because you are amazing. People need to see you.
Okay, so on my Facebook page, which is my actual name, which is Susan Marsh Hattie, Marsh Hatty, the Facebook, and it's a picture of my daughter and myself. That is the one you want to just ask to be a friend, and I'll send you a message and ask you how you know me, because I've been hacked many times. Okay, once we do that, you can see all of our advertising. I do my cheer fitness classes. All of this is all part of the plan. So Susan Marsh Hattie, Facebook, working on the YouTube channel, Susie Marsh Music, and Susie Marsh Anticipating Joy, which is the name of my book, which is all about confidence, and we'll get to that next time because we don't have a lot of time. And so there's lots, and of course you can get me at Singin' Suze, SINGINSOOZ @att.net is my email. You can email me and let me know what you want, and we'll work.
You're like, let me know what you want, man.
If you don't need it, I don't got it. If I don't got it,
You don't need it. Exactly. All right, Carol, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Always a blast, and I appreciate
Such
you.
a treat.
And,
Thank you. You are delicious.
no, you are fantastic.
Well, we are just we are pretty special.
We are.
In a good way.
No egos here, right? Thanks so much, Susie.
Thank you. May I give you a hug?
Of course.
Thank you, doll. That was fun.
Thank you. I just love that Susie. She is hilarious. But you know what? She puts her body through a lot. And a lot of people love the activities they do, but they can't do them anymore because they are dealing with a bulging disc or a bad knee or a herniated disc. And Dr. Saul Kogan from the Nerve and Disc Institute, he can help you holistically with no medication. And I'm lucky enough to be able to talk to one of his patients. Let's watch.
Okay.
Okay, so Ron, you have actually been walking with a walker, you said.
For about 3 years, yes.
Okay, and so I mean, it's amazing to see you stand up and feel good.
Yes.
And you said something interesting as far as, you've had surgeries, you've had nerves burnt, I think.
Yes. Yes.
And here at the Nerve and Disc Institute, it's holistic.
Yes, it's manipulation only.
Okay.
No.
It's good
no
manipulation.
cutting. Yes. Yes. Manipulation of the spine.
Right.
Yes.
But you said something else as far as there's manipulation of the spine, but you have to keep moving.
Yes.
And that's something you've learned from Dr. Kogan.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. And living with chronic pain all those years and going through cancer, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how?
I was quite sedentary, not from the cancer, from the shoulder surgery had me. I was in such great pain after that surgery that I sat sedentary for 3 months.
Okay.
And then when I went to move, I couldn't. And then I started using a walker, and because then on a walker I'm bent over like this, which took pressure off my spine.
Okay. And that helps.
So no, I still had pain, but much lessened.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I couldn't stand up straight like this for a long time.
I think you're standing up straighter than me.
I'm trying.
So, I mean, I can just see the happiness in you, honestly, because you could just tell that you just love this place.
I do. I love the people for sure.
And I think one thing that you said is important too, as far as, you said you were a little skeptical
I was halfway through
Halfway
the
through.
treatments.
And then what
But
happened?
that's why they schedule me for like almost 40 treatments, because they know that halfway through you're not going to be there yet.
Right.
And I was thinking I would never be there. It was really disheartening to me. And then one day when I got up from the couch to get ready to come here, and I was able to, I felt when I got here I was ready to dance. I was overjoyed, and they were happy to see me
Oh, I'm sure.
that
Right.
way. Yes.
So that is amazing. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give the Nerve and Disc Institute? 10 being the best.
A 10. A
Yeah.
10, yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. And I think it's so amazing how well you're getting along. And Papa Mountain, is that what you're called?
Yeah, unfortunately. Cancer treatments and steroids, I gained 90 pounds in 1 year.
But you know what? But you're able to move with your grandkids.
Yeah, and I'm alive, so yeah, praise God for
Well,
that. Yeah.
High five, sir.
Oh, thank
All
you
right.
very much
Thank
for your
you.
time.
No, thank you.
Oh,
Okay, so I am with one of my fantastic friends in my life, Jewell, the founder of Blue Hat Coffee. And So Philip and I go way back, and I know I've told this story a bazillion times, but it never gets old, does it, Philip?
No.
It does not. So actually, his original coffee shop was in Coldwater. And back when I was hosting Morning Edition for WKAR, we were doing, of course, what else? A coffee series. And I randomly called him and said, can I come and hang out with you and Catherine? And you were like, sure. And so that's how we met.
Met in Coldwater.
Yeah, so we met in Coldwater, and then fast forward, we lost touch, and then all of a sudden I'm getting ready to start Caffeinated Conversations, and a friend of mine says, hey, you know what? There's a new coffee shop opening in Farmington. Maybe they'll let you do your show there. And I'm like, oh, what's it called? And she's like, Blue Hat Coffee. And I'm like, what? I'm like, are you serious? So you were kind enough, you weren't even open yet, and you let us kick off the show there. And our last show there was actually your opening day.
That's right.
Yeah, it was so amazing. So Philip, seriously, thank you. You've done so much for me, and it's your stuff is so great, and your treats are so awesome.
Well, yeah, it's amazing to have. We bake all of our own pastries, which nobody does.
Yeah, so you need to highlight that. Like somebody else said
So
that.
we have a full-time baker.
Mm-hmm.
We bake all of our cinnamon rolls, sticky buns,
My favorite.
cookies, croissants. We make all of our own breads.
Okay, so what is this?
This is a lemon roll.
Okay,
Yeah.
what is this? I'm just gonna keep eating. What is this one?
Cranberry walnut.
Okay, no chocolate because he knows it will kill me.
No, yeah. And the cinnamon roll.
And the cinnamon roll, the crowd goes wild. It's my favorite thing. So you just talk and I'm gonna eat. No, just kidding. Okay, so you have a baker.
So we have a full-time baker. We bake everything for the store. We roast our own coffee. We make our own syrups. So everything we do is pretty much made from scratch.
And you never sleep.
Well, that's a problem.
That is a problem. That is a problem.
So we have a full kitchen. We have a prep area, and we serve espresso drinks. We're open
Yeah, and you're open late, which of course I
from
love.
6:30 in the morning to 8:30 in the evening, 7 days a week.
And it's so rare to find a coffee shop that's open that late.
Well, it's interesting because I thought nobody's going to come in after 5 o'clock. Wrong. We are packed in the evening.
Really?
And we have game night, we have euchre night, we have book clubs. We have probably 7 book clubs that come in.
Seriously.
And so I'll go in at 6 o'clock in the evening. And it's like, where did all these people come from? We're
Yeah.
having meetings.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So it's packed in the evenings, which is surprising.
And you are an excellent location, downtown Farmington,
Right.
right on the corner.
Corner of Grand River and Farmington Road in the old Masonic Hall. We have the first floor, 3,500 square feet.
It's huge, yeah.
And then we have a deck that seats 24.
Yeah, when is that going to be able to open, do you think? You don't-
Probably in 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
And and the seating is comfortable. The thing I hate about most coffee shops is they have plastic chairs and nasty Formica furniture.
Right.
So everything we have is made from scratch. We have hardwood tables that are black walnut and maple.
Yeah, it's
and we have fantastic, comfortable seating. that
Talk
you
about
can-
the lights, because the lights are amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I love the lights.
So we started in Coldwater, which was my mom's house, which is a National Historic Site. So we took the light fixtures from there. We have a light fixture that's glass grapes.
Right.
There's 6 fixtures in that. And then we have 5 or 6 other antique light fixtures.
Do you have a Tiffany one or no? I thought you did.
We have Tiffany crystals.
Or we're
in
not talking about that.
one. We have Tiffany crystals in one of them.
Okay.
And so those all came out of the house, and we basically restored the facility. Got a brand new hardwood floors. The seating is very comfortable.
And it's a huge space.
It's a gigantic space.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, and it's amazing to walk in now some days and find that there's no place to sit. So
Tough problem to have, sir.
At times it's gotten fairly busy.
Right. And so it is interesting, though, because usually this is a slow time of the year for you.
Yeah, this is interesting because January, February are the worst 2 months of the year for restaurants
Right.
and retail in general after the Christmas holiday. And our sales are up 25% in January and February, which I am astounded, but because the weather's been so bad.
Right.
The
Yeah,
weather's
I'm not leaving my house when it's so treacherous and cold.
I wouldn't either.
Right.
Except I have
Except you have to. You have to. It's in your working title. What is your official title, by the way?
Chief Operating Officer.
Oh, so fancy.
Oh, yeah.
So fancy. Okay, so I want to talk about some of the new stuff you have because you have expanded your menu, but we're going to do it in. Okay, first we're going to play this game. Are you ready?
Okay.
And he is not. I did not tell him any of this. Okay, so it's called Blue Hat Truth or Roast. Ready? Okay, first one. What's your most underrated menu item?
Ooh. Probably the muffins.
Which one?
Blueberry.
Blueberry?
Muffins. Yeah.
Those are awesome. Okay, so that's the most underrated.
Yeah.
Okay. Item that took way too long to perfect. And because you make everything homemade, you might have everything.
Well, yeah. So when we started baking, we like most coffee shops, we bought everything. And I'm going, how hard could it be? We're going to bake. So we put in a small kitchen.
Right.
And the first thing we baked was muffins.
How'd that go?
9 versions later, we had a muffin.
You have it?
Yeah. So that's pretty much the case.
Okay.
You get a recipe, you go
Right.
through up
Right.
to version 5 or 6, and you have the recipe.
But see, you care about that though, right? Some people might have stopped at the 5th time.
No,
said good enough.
No, I'm pretty picky as far as baked goods. So, and we use several. We use all unbleached, unbromated flours.
Okay.
We have high gluten flour. We have all-purpose flour. We have pastry flour, and we use whatever we need for the product that we're baking. We bake our own croissants. We have a sheeter, so we can actually make them easily.
Huh?
So croissants are painful to make.
Okay.
And I made them for 3 years, rolling them out by hand.
That's craziness.
It's a very good for
It was
muscle.
not Pillsbury.
No, but it's good for muscle development.
Right. So that came in handy. Okay. So what is one thing you'll never, ever put on a menu?
Oh, well, it would probably be something that would be a dinner item.
Right.
Almost everything
But
we
you
have.
do have sandwiches.
We have sandwiches, but we basically on the food items we essentially have sandwiches. We have soup,
Oh, okay.
and but we'll probably stick to more breakfast, lunch type items. We
And are those items? I mean, you're open till 8:30 at night. So is everything available as long as it's
everything's
not sold
available
out,
all day
right?
long.
Okay.
Yeah. So
No
if you want a
cutoff time.
breakfast sandwich at 8:30 at night, I don't
You can
care.
get one, right?
You can get one.
It's like, be my
Whatever.
whatever. Just do it,
You
man.
can- yeah.
Just do it.
And we've got a nice setup. We've got 2 high-speed ovens, so everything's heated in 45 seconds and very hot.
Yes. No easy bake oven there.
No, and we have no frozen items that get thawed in the microwave for you. Unlike some places,
Oh, I knew you were gonna. I knew. I was like, we are not gonna mention any. As they cut the plastic bag open and
I
plop it in the
I love
bag,
that,
right?
yeah,
It's the
yeah.
worst. Okay, so here's one of my favorite questions. What's the drink that secretly judges people? Like, if somebody orders this one drink and your baristas like roll their eyes, is there a drink like that at Blue Hat?
No, there's probably the most time-consuming drinks to make are the frozen drinks,
Okay.
because you've got to put ice in them, you got to put chocolate, you have to put cream and so forth. So those are the ones that are the line killers.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
But they're normally not popular except in the summer, except for sometimes it depends who comes in.
I was
right?
just gonna say,
Yeah.
right? So I know that my twins, that's all they want.
Yeah.
Right,
And
so-
they're delicious.
Right.
And we call them frescantes, but they're basically a frappe, right? And our frescante is probably 500 or 600 calories, and if you go to most coffee houses, they're like over 2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it because you make your own syrups, or what's the
it's
difference?
because we have less sugar in it.
Okay.
But in it, you get if you have the right ingredients, you don't need all that sugar.
But it's so yummy.
They're so good. They are so good.
So yummy.
And then if you really want to add a sugar high, put some homemade whipped cream on it.
You got it all, man. It is so awesome. There's like my favorite hangout. Okay, so any new seasonal items coming up for the summer? Because we know eventually it will become summer here.
No, the menu is pretty much
Pretty
set
set.
year round. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing we do is we do some seasonal pies. So we have a pumpkin eggnog praline pie that we do during the holidays, Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Okay. What is your personal favorite thing that you bake?
Probably the scones. The scones are amazing. They're so good. But all it takes is tons of butter.
Oh my God, my kid loves butter so much. I bought her a butter hat. It's literally got a butter
really?
stick on it because she's just like, give me more butter.
Give me more butter.
Give me more
Just a minute. Can I have a stick of butter for dinner, please?
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
I know the crowd.
Yes. So, okay, so real quick, talk about the coffee because your coffee is amazing.
Yeah, so we get samples of coffee. So we'll order 10 to 20 samples. They send us like half a pound samples. We have a small 1 pound roaster. And let's say we get 10 samples. We'll roast it. It has to sit for 3 days and rest and degas. And then we'll cup it and taste it. And so out of 10 samples, if we're lucky, we'll find one that we'll buy.
Really?
Yeah, so because you get the cupping notes, you go, oh, that sounds really good. And then you taste and go, no, it tastes like coffee, but that's about it. There's nothing interesting going on with this.
Right, nothing different or unique.
No, so,
Okay.
so
You're very picky about pretty much everything.
yeah. So,
And I can say that because we're friends. You will be
so
insulted.
we'll cup and taste them, and then we'll select one, and then we'll go through the process again, and then we'll order a skid of coffee and get whatever 1,500 pounds of coffee in different varieties.
And why has that not been delivered to my house?
Well, because
1,500 pounds of
you have to have a lift gate come and deliver it. So
Okay, well, that's not happening.
that semi is going to show us, and
I keep waiting. Whatever. A girl can dream. Okay, so you have some exciting news. I'm very excited about this.
yeah, we're in the process of selling the property in Coldwater. We have an offer on it. We're going through due diligence, and we have made an offer on a property in Ferndale.
Right where we are at M1.
It's right down the street on Woodward Heights.
Very cool.
And it's 9,000 square feet.
Yeah, that's
And we're going to put the coffee roasting in and have green bean storage. And then we'll put in we're going to do silk screen printing. So we're putting in a 6-color silk screen press. And we'll find other things to do in our spare time. Well, we'll definitely put in a kitchen because we're going to try to do the pie baking in a different location.
got it. Okay.
Because it takes
a lot of space.
Takes a lot of space, yeah.
Okay.
And then we can bake it for the shop. And then if we are looking at the possibility of opening that as a 9 to 5 bakery with baked goods and just regular brewed coffee. No
lattes or espresso?
No lattes, yeah.
Oh gosh, did I just break that? Like coffee beans everywhere.
It's more about the bakery.
Whatever. I'll bring my own. But you have something else exciting that you might be doing there, right? New space? Studio? Hello?
Oh yes, yeah. Well, we are planning to put in a video streaming studio. It's
very cool.
A studio to film and do blogs.
Right.
We'll set it up with live streaming and recording so that people can do video streaming and do video blogs. And then that'll give us the opportunity for us to do our own stuff too.
Yeah, because you used to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, so
yeah. I did a series of videos interviewing artists, and that was on YouTube for probably 2.5 years.
That's so cool.
So, yeah.
No, you are the man that never stops.
Always. You gotta have something to do at all times, other than sleep.
Yeah, exactly. So seriously, Philip, thank you so much for coming here, and you are one of my favorite people.
Well, thank you.
Not just because you give me coffee or bake cinnamon rolls. Okay, Blue Hat Coffee and Gallery.
Downtown
Farmington.
Right.
Hours 7 days a week.
7 days a week, 6:30 in the morning to 8:30 at night.
That's where I get my last shot of espresso for
That's
the night.
right. And it's amazing how many people buy coffee at 8:30.
He's like, I only know one that does it. This is perfect. And then the Ferndale thing, of course, we'll keep you posted on that, right? I mean, you'll let us know
That's
what's
an
going on.
ongoing project.
That's an ongoing thing, but that will be very
We'll
exciting.
know when it's going to take probably a month or two to get that figured out.
All right. Well, again, thank you for, I mean, seriously, it's always so funny just because of how this has happened throughout the years, right? You just
yeah,
can't get rid of me. I'm like
yeah.
a bad penny.
It's amazing because he called me and I thought, Brooke Allen, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think you said, oh, the caffeine queen?
The queen of coffee?
Yes. I'm like, hi, what's going on? So bizarre, but see, meant to be. So here you are, and thank you for everything you do, and thank you for all the yummy treats. We all appreciate it here. And we will see you soon,
All right.
right? High five, man. That's the way you tag out of the show.
Boom.
Boom, there we go. All right, well, thanks so much for being with us, and we will see you soon. In the meantime, keep the coffee hot because spring has still not yet arrived. We're waiting. Thanks.